Hey guys, it's Hink here. Something I see that comes up a lot in the PE community is this one study that came out back in 2009 that said that if you take high levels of vitamin D and vitamin K, that you can increase your member size. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to break down that study and to try to determine if there's any truth to it or if it's total and complete BS. So let's get right into it. All right, so the study that I'm referencing, I'll put a screenshot up on here. It basically came out in 2009, and it said that in a study of 14 men that are taking 50,000 units of vitamin D3 and 100 micrograms of vitamin K2, that they increased penis length and girth by about a half an inch on average in both situations. And so this comes up all the time, and hopefully this puts everything to bed. So guys, this study is it's garbage, okay? First of all, this isn't even a published journal article, okay? It's published on ResearchGate, yes, but it is published by the author, okay? It is not a peer-reviewed journal article, so there is literally no credibility to this whatsoever. You could go online right now, type up a study, and you could publish it to ResearchGate. It might take a couple clicks, but you could do this. And so another thing is that this is doctors who are practicing holistic medicine, and that is not to say that Western medicine is the only type of medicine, because I know a lot of doctors tend to do that, but this study in particular, it's holistic, and that whole genre of medicine is a lot of unverified, non-peer-reviewed techniques that have very questionable efficacy. So that's something to keep in mind. Guys, this study had 14 men on the study, okay? Not only that, but it also says that they were male friends. I'm assuming friends of the author. I mean, how about that for credibility? Like, this guy said, hey, 14 of my friends, let's put you on this study, take vitamin D, okay? The other thing is that there's no mention of comorbidities with any of these guys. Do they have a history of heart disease, baseline erectile dysfunction? Do they have diabetes? It does list their age, which tends to range from about, I think, 18 to 70, but there's really no list because this is such a crappy write-up. It's not even a journal article, okay? The methods that they use to collect the sizes, okay? And so they basically had guys with digital cameras submit pictures of their D with self-measurement. That is not something that's going to be verifiable. It's not something that can also be reproducible in many cases. Any of the guys who have tried to take progress pictures for their own, purposes know this. And so there is no quality control or standardization to how this is performed. Was it bone pressed? Was it non-bone pressed? The other thing is that they used largely stretch flaccid length as their marker of length enlargement. And so there's not even a erect correlation with this. I mean, in this study, they did not measure erect length. It was stretched length, but yet erect circumference. And so, why would they do that? And there's also a lot of missing measurements if you actually look at the methods section of this. Another big flaw is that they did not say whether men were allowed to pursue any other forms of enlargement techniques. And so if they're going on a study measuring vitamin D, and the authors type up in this, study that it's been shown that even things like pumping can increase your length, but it doesn't say as part of the methods the participants were not allowed to participate in other enlargement techniques. And so many of them could have been doing that. And guys, let's just look at the results, okay? So the average length went from 6.2 to 6.7. So on average, about a half inch length gained, with a range from 0.12 inches to 0.9 inches in 6 months. So almost a full inch in 6 months with vitamin D and vitamin K. Like, logically, does that make sense? Calm it down, okay? And then same thing with girth. It's like it went from 4.8 to 5.4 on average with a range of 0 to 1.5 inches. So the authors here are claiming that one of the men reported an girth increase or circumference increase of 1.5 inches in 6 months with only vitamin K and vitamin D. Does that make sense? Does that seem in any reality plausible, guys? I know some people are so desperate to get a bigger size that they will kind of latch on to anything. I did it. I bought enhancement pills. I'm not gonna lie. But guys, you try to use your brain. This does not make sense. This just physiologically does not make sense, okay? Speaking of that, what is the mechanism of action, okay? Any decent study is going to say, this is what the study showed, and this is how we at least hypothesize this happened. In this study, they say, well, we don't really know, but it might have something to do with androgen receptor binding from the vitamin D and the vitamin K. So they don't even have a proper scenario. And guys, you have to understand that if you went through in any way a normal puberty, meaning you don't have a micro penis or you don't have some weird like androgen abnormality like within your chromosomes or where you weren't exposed to DHT, if you are an adult male taking even things like DHT topically, they are not going to enlarge your penis. They are not. I hate when I get in these, I won't even call them debates online, but people are like, oh yeah, I took DHT and my D grew. Like, no, it didn't. It's been proven. Here's a paper, okay? Randomized controlled trial. This doesn't, like, taking DHT doesn't make your dick grow. It doesn't, okay? I'll put up, I'm gonna do a separate video on DHT because I'm tired of this thing getting addressed. But, don't confuse potential benefit in erection quality with actual enlargement of the tissue, guys. If you went through puberty, that doesn't happen. Then one of the biggest flaws on here is that so when you have fat-soluble vitamins, okay, fat-soluble vitamins, vitamins A, D, E, and K, those get absorbed into your body and they got stored into your fat. When they get stored, you can store them at high levels to the point where they become actually toxic to your livers and toxic to your end organs like your livers and your liver and your kidneys. There we go. And so when you look at this Healthline article here, it says that all things considered, a vitamin D intake of 1,000 to 4,000 IUs, okay, of vitamin D should be plenty. They used 50,000 IUs, guys. That is a dangerous level and can lead to kidney disease and kidney failure from the effects that it can have on calcium. So this is a dangerous study to recommend at baseline, okay? The other kind of, I think, biggest flaw in this, so this was published in 2009, if you want to call it that. How hard would it be to get another cohort of men and do a randomized trial with just supplementing oral vitamin D and vitamin K? If this were real science, if this was really occurring, there would be a study published in the New England Journal showing that this works and every man would have on average a half an inch bigger in both length and girth from supplementing vitamin D. Because this is easy. Take a vitamin supplement every day. That is easy to do. This would be easy to fund, easy to study. Guys, this is hocus pocus. This is bull, okay? This is complete bull crap. There is a reason why this paper is not published in a peer-reviewed journal because it's total crap. So please stop bringing this paper up and saying, oh, is this factor crap? Total BS, guys. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So what does vitamin D actually do? Well, let's look at some of the papers. So here's a paper. We're looking at test levels. Does it increase test levels? No. Meta-analysis shows does not have any effect on test levels. Here's a paper that shows that, maybe if you have a true vitamin D deficiency, there could be some benefit in testosterone levels, but in general, having a vitamin D deficiency or having low testosterone levels is a marker of poor health, okay? This is one of the few proven effects, and that's sperm motility or mobility. So actual fertility, if you're vitamin D deficient, you could take it. Yeah, it might improve your sperm quality, okay? There's not even a strong association between vitamin D and erection quality. There's no correlation between, even taking vitamin D leading to stronger erections, which is why they saw those gains. The one thing is that if you do have a deficiency, it can be associated with poor erection quality. But once again, this is because it's associated with other comorbidities, okay? And so there's not even evidence that supplementing with vitamin D can help with things like cardiovascular health, okay? Here's a paper showing that. So, guys, there's really no literature to support vitamin D use when we're talking about penile health in the days. So back to the video. So how do you get vitamin D? So believe it or not, vitamin D deficiency can be seen in up to 42% of the US population. So guys, that is including like older women, which are more prominent. And believe it or not, actually people of color are more prone to vitamin D deficiency because basically the higher melanin you have, the pigment to your skin, the lower vitamin D production you have in general. So if you're concerned you might have a vitamin D deficiency, get checked, guys. There's like letsgetchecked.com, which of course I'm not sponsored by or anything, but there's ways you can just submit blood online and get checked, okay? So if you're suspecting you're low, get checked. Sun exposure, guys. If you live in an area with year-round sun, all you need to do is basically go outside and get vitamin D exposed. Supplementing. So the NIH recommends 400 to 800 IU daily. However, if you are truly deficient, you might need as many as 5,000 IUs daily. 5,000, not 50,000 like that study. So what are my recommendations? I think that when you're talking about fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, they can be dangerous. And so certainly supplementing high levels of vitamin vitamin D is not going to make you an inch bigger or half an inch bigger. It is not going to make you bigger at all, in my opinion, okay? Is it gonna hurt to supplement with vitamin D or vitamin K? No, and I mean, vitamin K especially, it's really hard to build up to a toxic level of that. But vitamin D, you know, there could be a benefit if you are deficient, so get checked. If you feel like you must supplement with vitamin D, what would I recommend? I would say in winter time, if you don't have good sun exposure, maybe 1,000 to 2,000 IUs daily with maybe 100 micrograms of vitamin K. Possibly higher than that if you have melanin or you're darker skin. In the summer, I think 500 IUs at most with 100 micrograms of vitamin D. Guys, I'm a random guy on YouTube. Like, please do your research and talk to your doctor. Don't just be like, oh, well, he said it online in this video, so I'm gonna do it. And just to be clear, I am not supplementing with vitamin D or vitamin K. Okay, you guys have seen my gains online. Like, I don't think it's necessary, and I think that study is total bogus. So there's no evidence for enlargement, increased erection quality, increased testosterone levels, or even increased cardiovascular health when you're talking about these supplements. So I would not recommend them, especially if we're talking about purely penile health and you are not deficient. So anyways, guys, I hope coaching God. If you need one-on-one injury support or you don't want to talk about scientific theories, my Patreon.kink. Do your own research, form your own conclusions, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.